I did bring a lot of rattlesnakes with me, and I happen to have here where I'm staying, they have a no pet policy. I don't consider a rattlesnake a pet, okay? So I think it's fine to have a rattlesnake here. Today was the Claxton Rattlesnake and Wildlife Festival, and you did not come. I'm not talking about everybody else. I'm talking about you specifically watching this video. You did not come. How did I know you did not come? Because nobody came. It was a torrential downpour. We didn't even get to open, and we had to close, just go ahead and send everybody home. And but since we left, the sun is out, the birds are singing, and it is beautiful. The weather is perfect, and tomorrow's forecast is going to be amazing. So the Claxton Rattlesnake and Wildlife Festival is going to be tomorrow on Sunday. There's a lot of vendors there. A couple of them lost their tent this morning because one of them almost hit me as it was blowing across the field. But a lot of vendors there, a lot of conservation organizations there, and if you like snakes, this is one of the events that you should support, because this used to be a rattlesnake roundup. They used to go out and, kill basically removing rattlesnakes from gopher tortoise burrows, which renders the gopher tortoise burrow uninhabitable. And they bring the rattlesnakes back, and they, weigh them and measure them, and then eventually slaughter the rattlesnakes. So there was a lot of rattlesnake roundups, throughout the southeastern U.S. and across the South in the U.S. And there's still some that persist, but this is one of the rattlesnake roundups that has reformed and turned to a rattlesnake festival. And this has been going on here in Claxton for well over a decade, 13, 14, 15 years. Not sure how long it's been a festival, but a long time. So this is one of those things we need to support to show that, you can do this. You can have a successful event, and you don't have to kill the rattlesnakes. We can celebrate them. So at this event are several organizations, including Southeastern Reptile Rescue, and they're bringing rattlesnakes in. So there's still a rattlesnake pit, and I was there today. There's some nice looking Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes. And traditionally at these events, that's pretty much all you would see is Eastern Diamondback rattlesnakes. And they're there. They're here. They're going to be there tomorrow. But I counted today 9 different species of rattlesnake. So not only do you see Eastern Diamondbacks and timber rattlesnakes and pygmy rattlesnakes, which are all native to Georgia, there's a total of 9 different species of rattlesnakes here that you can see. Really cool. So not only is there rattlesnakes on display, I've got my walkthrough reptile exhibit here with some really cool snakes in it, and I will be on stage 2 times on Sunday, tomorrow, doing my venomous snake show on stage. And there's several other organizations here as well that's doing their reptile programs on stage. So lots of snakes here tomorrow, lots of vendors, lots of arts and crafts, things for the kids, rides, all kind of cool stuff, lots of food. I did bring a lot of rattlesnakes with me, and I happen to have here where I'm staying, they have a no pet policy. I don't consider a rattlesnake a pet, okay? So I think it's fine to have a rattlesnake here. So I got a couple I want to show you. So these are just a couple of my timber rattlesnakes, and some of my favorites. I absolutely love timbers. I love all rattlesnakes, but I don't know. I think timbers might be my personal favorite rattlesnake. Now, both of these are rescued. This one was caught by an individual who's going to kill it, and we talked him out of killing it, and he was able to turn this over to us, and so we use this one for education. This rattlesnake right here is a timber rattlesnake, and it was, I'm sorry, I know, this snake was actually run over by a lawnmower, and I'm going to see if I can show this to you. Right underneath here, lift up for me just a little bit. Let me see you. If you look right there, that's the scar where the lawnmower blade hit this guy. And unfortunately, when it cut him, it did cut the rattlesnake's head completely off. But we had an extra head we put on there. So I'm just kidding. No, but it was a pretty bad cut. But this rattlesnake's doing well. And we've had this one in captivity for a few years now. And still rattles, still doesn't like me sitting this close to it. But fortunately, even though I'm close to this rattlesnake, I'm far enough away from his position where he's positioned now where he can't bite me. And he's not going to come over here to attack me. So I do have, I see how many, I've got 7 different species of rattlesnakes with me, 7 different ones. And I've got one rattlesnake I want to show you that's not from Georgia where I live. It's not from the southeastern U.S. It's not from the United States. It is an exotic rattlesnake. And I want to show you this one. It's pretty cool. All right, this snake, I'm going to make sure it's facing that way. This is a northwestern neotropical rattlesnake. You know, timber rattlesnakes have some bad venom. Eastern diamondback rattlesnakes have some bad venom. But this thing has got some amazingly bad venom, depending on how you look at it. You know, if it bites you, it's really bad. But the cool thing is so many medications, life-saving medications, are being made from venom. For instance, there's a scientist, Dr. Francis Markland, and he was doing studies on copperhead venom. What he found was the southern copperhead, the eastern copperhead, has a component in his venom called contortristatin that's been shown in lab tests to reduce breast cancer tumors by 70%. He took contortristatin and used it in a lab to make vicrostatin, which has been shown in lab tests to reduce prostate cancer and ovarian cancer by 90%. That's all from one snake. Then you've got the pygmy rattlesnake, lives here in the southeast. Medication already on the market, made from its venom, called integralin. It's a super aspirin that basically stops heart attacks. And there's so many others. There's different rattlesnakes and cobras, and different ones are being looked at right now to treat Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, leukemia, brain cancer. And there's also medications on the market right now. Some high blood pressure medications, type 2 diabetes medications that are manufactured from components that come from snake venom. I would venture to say that snakes in America save more lives in 1 year than they take in 100. Are these snakes dangerous? Yeah, when people do stupid stuff around them. Okay, don't do stupid stuff around snakes. They'll leave you alone. These snakes they're not aggressive. They're defensive. And this snake can hurt you really bad, like I said, when you mess with them, when you get in places you're not supposed to be with these snakes. But this snake does not sit around hoping to get a chance to bite somebody. Being left alone is exactly what the snake wants. As long as you leave them alone, they'll gladly do the same thing for you. I'm going to put a link down below so you can see our whole list that we're going to be this year. So come out and see me, say hello, and see some really cool snakes.